Hi, welcome. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to conjugate Arabic verbs in the past simple. So here we have this table. Here are the pronouns that we have studied, personal pronouns. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, anti, antuma, antuna. Ana, nahnu. These are the personal pronouns that we studied. However, I wrote them here as a reference for the verbs, for the verb conjugation, not in the sense that we need these pronouns to conjugate the verbs. Fact is, we don't need that. Arabic is not just like English. In English, to conjugate a verb, we say I do, you do, he does, we do, you do, they do. So you see here, if I delete this part here, all you see is do, and do. So actually, you do need these personal pronouns to understand about the person that you are talking or speaking or saying something about. All right. So if I just say do, it doesn't make any sense. Do you mean you do or we do? But this doesn't happen in Arabic. In Arabic, when I say, for example, fa'altu, fa'altu like this means I do. So you don't need to say here ana fa'altu. You don't need this pronoun here. In Arabic, you just say fa'altu. It means I do. If I want to say you do, you just say fa'alta for masculine and fa'alti for feminine. Fa'alti means you do for feminine. You don't need to say anti. You don't need to say anti fa'alti, all right? So you don't need this, you only need the verbs. All right. I said that because here I put these personal pronouns here as a reference for you to know that when I say haraja, I'm talking about third person, masculine, singular. Huma haraja, when I say haraja, I'm talking about third person, masculine, dual. When I say harajtum, I'm talking about second person, plural, masculine, and so on. All right, so here we have this. But before conjugating, let me tell you this. We have two types of sentences in Arabic language. We have nominal sentence and verbal sentence. So we have two types of sentences in Arabic. When we have a nominal sentences, what are we looking for in a nominal sentence? We are looking for two aspects. We are looking for the subject plus predicate. So when we have a nominal sentence, it means that we have to identify first what is the subject, then what is the predicate. Everything else is secondary. All right. Now, when we have a verbal sentence, what are we looking for? What are the main things that we need to be able to identify? It is first is the verb. It's a verbal sentence, right? So first you identify where is the verb. Then you identify where is the subject. All right? Where is the verb? What is the subject? Also, I need to tell you the following. In English, we have subject plus verb plus object, right? We have something like this. But in Arabic, we have verb plus subject plus object or anything else. So in Arabic, first comes the verb. That's why it's a verbal sentence. Then comes the subject. Then everything else. Once you identify these two, then everything else comes later. All right. So you may ask me, what if first we have the subject, then we have the verb, then the object? Well, if you pay attention, if first you have the subject, it means that you have a noun, right? So if you first have the subject, it means it's no longer a verbal sentence, but it's a nominal sentence, and we have studied that. We have already studied that. Now we are talking about verbal sentence. First is the verb, then is the subject. When you have a verbal sentence, first you need to be able to identify where is the verb, then where is the predicate. All right, so with that in mind, we have here the verb dhahaba. Here, dhahaba. Where is the verb? The verb is dhahaba. Right. So let me write here. Let me write here. Here is the verb dhahaba. 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 So dhahaba means what? Dhahaba means he went. Dhahaba means he went. So first question. So this is a verbal sentence, right? First we need to identify where is the verb. Where is the verb? Question mark. And my answer is simple. The verb is dhahaba. Great. We have identified the verb. What is the second point? Where is the subject? Where is the subject? What is the subject? Well, if I look at this and this is the verb, well, the subject here, it is hidden. The verb is hidden. That is why I can't see it, right? So if I look at this verb, dhahaba, third person, singular, masculine, here the verb is hidden. That's why I can't see it, all right? So we have identified the verb, dhahaba, then we identified the subject. And we said, and where is the subject? Well, I can't show you because it's hidden. Great. Great answer. So here, dhahaba, the verb is hidden. Now let's go to the feminine. We have here dhahabat. Dhahabat. All right. Dhahabat. Dhahabat. What is the verb? Dhahaba. The verb is this. Dhahaba. This is the verb. And where is the subject? The subject, again, here it's hidden, right? So the verbs for third person, singular, masculine and feminine, the verbs, they are hidden. All right, you can't see it. Next lesson we'll talk. We'll develop this topic of hidden verb, not hidden verbs, and so on. All right. By now you have to know that for dhahaba, for masculine, which is dhahaba, the verb is hidden. Dhahaba means he went, and dhahabat means she went. All right. So here is the subject and here is the verb. Here is the subject and here is the verb. But in Arabic, if you look at it, the verb is here, but where is the subject? It's hidden. Same here. Where is the verb? It's here, dhahaba. And where is the subject? It's hidden. Then you may ask, so what is this letter ta here with sukun? What is it? Well, this is a sign that tells me that this verb, the subject of this verb is feminine. It's not masculine, it's feminine. I don't know where the subject is, but at least I know that it's feminine. So that's why this letter here, ta with sukun, tells me. So here, I look at it, I don't see any feminine sign, so I know that here the verb is, the subject is hidden, but at least I know it's masculine. But here, since it has this sign here that indicates that the subject is a feminine, so I say that the subject here is feminine, but it's hidden also. All right? This is how it works. Dhahaba, dhahabat. So here for third person, here, where is the subject? Where is the verb? Dhahaba. Where is the subject? Hidden. Here, where is the subject? Dhahaba. Where is the verb? Dhahaba. Where is the subject? It's hidden. So what is this ta with sukun here? It's a sign for me to know that this is the feminine gender. Now we have here dhahaba for, this is masculine, right? And down here is feminine. Here we have dhahaba, dhahaba. So you may ask, where is the verb? Let me write here. Dhahaba, dhahaba. So here we said that the subject, the verb is dhahaba, and the subject is what? It's hidden, right? Now here, dhahaba, so here it's dual, right? Dual, masculine, singular. Sorry, dual, third person, masculine. Dhahaba, dhahaba. Here, where is the verb? The verb is here. Dhahaba. Here is the verb. Dhahaba. And where is the subject? The subject is here. It's no longer hidden. It's this alif here. This alif is the subject. This is the subject, and this is the verb. All right. So in a verbal sentence, we have to identify the subject and the predicate. So here we have identified the verb. Sorry, not the predicate. The verb and the subject. Here we have identified the verb, dhahaba, and here we can very clearly see the subject. The subject is this alif here. This is the subject. Yes, here you can't see anything that tells you that is the subject. Here you only see the verb. That's why you say that the subject here is hidden. Same here is hidden, but we have the sign here that tells me that this is feminine, right? So we have dhahaba. Here is the subject, this alif. Dhahabata, this ta here is the subject. Dhahabata, they too went. We have here dhahabu, dhahabu. Let me write here. We have dhahabu, dhahabu. Where is the verb? It's here. Where is the verb? Where is the verb? It's here. Like this. Now let me put wawa, doma here. The verb here is dhahaba also. Dhahaba. And where is the subject? The subject is this letter waw here. This letter waw is the subject. So if I translate here, dhahabu means they went. So this waw here is this they here. When you see dhahabu, you know that it means they because of this waw here. All right. this is how we identify the subject and the verb and the subject in verbal sentences. We have here dhahabat, dhahabata, and here we have dhahabu. This is the subject. Dhahabna. This na is the subject for the feminine. They, referring to feminine, went. Anta, sorry, no anta. Dhahabta. This ta here means you. Dhahabta, you went. Dhahabtuma, the subject is here. Tuma. The subject is tuma, and here dhahabtum. This tum is the subject. Dhahabitunna. This tunna is the subject. So here we have to identify the verb. The verb we have already identified. Dhahaba. Now we are identifying the the subjects. It's like the different pronouns in English. So, but in Arabic, of course. So when I say dhahabtu, where is the subject? Is here. Tu, and dhahabna. This na here is the subject. All right. So I told you that in a nominal sentence, you have to identify the subject and the predicate. And we have studied, we saw many examples. Now, for the verbal sentence, we have to identify the verb and the subject of the verb. All right. So when we have, this is different from English. Remember, here we are not talking English. When you write English, if I say I do, I ask you, what is the verb? You know that the verb is here. What is the subject? The subject is here. There is no doubt about that. But this is Arabic. So when I say dhahabtu, where is the verb? The verb is here. Where is the subject of the verb? The performer of the action is here. Tu. This is how it works in Arabic, and you need to be able to identify them properly. All right. That's why. So here you see that when I have, for example, dhahabtu, here you see this is the subject and this is the verb. So this ana that is here, this has nothing to do with the verbal sentence. All right. This has nothing to do with the verbal sentence. Actually, let me explain you something. Let me write here for you to understand better. Let me write ana dhahabtu. Ana dhahabtu. All right, I wrote here ana dhahabtu. Oops. I wrote here ana dhahabtu. Let's talk about this. So what do we have here? Here we have a nominal sentence. All right. When we have a nominal sentence, what are we looking for? By the way, before that, let me translate. It's better for me to translate. When I say ana dhahabtu, in translation is, sorry, English, I went. All right. Ana dhahabtu, I went. Great. Now let's analyze it. Where is the subject of this nominal sentence? Here is the subject. Great. Ana is the subject, right? Right. So put it aside. Now, where is the predicate? Dhahabtu is the predicate. Great. In this nominal sentence, we have identified the subject and the predicate. Great. Now, how do you describe this predicate? How do you talk about it? Well, this predicate is a verbal sentence. It's not a verb, but a verbal sentence. It means that this predicate has a complete meaning. It's not only the verb, but the verb and the pronoun together, right? This is the meaning of a sentence. All right, the verb and the pronoun, they are together. And I tell you, so tell me, what is the verb in this verbal sentence? And I answer you quickly. I say, the verb is here. The hab. This is the verb. All right, the last vowel has sukun. The hab is the verb. And where is the predicate? Sorry, where is the subject of this verb? And you quickly answer. Here is, sorry, not the predicate. Here is the subject of this verb, to. All right. So here, you see here, this is the subject of the, nominal sentence. Nominal sentence. And this is the subject of the, subject of the verbal sentence. This is how it works. So there are two subjects here. One is this to, and the other is this ana. All right. So with this, I'm telling you that we don't need this. We just need this, the verbal sentence. The verb to is enough. All right. Now another way. What if I just wrote? What if I just wrote, for example, the verb to? So here, this is a verbal sentence, right? So here, I will not ask you where is the subject, where is the predicate. No, the subject and the predicate, you only ask if you have in front of you a nominal sentence. But when you have in front of you a verbal sentence, you need to be able to identify where is the verb, and here is the verb, and where is the subject of this verb. Here is the subject of this verb, the doer of the action in the verb, the doer, the verb to. I went. Who went? I went. Right? And where is this I in this verb? It's this to here that you can see here. This is how, this is one of the difference between verbal sentence and Arabic sentence in terms of analysis. Now, in terms of the meaning, of course, when I say ana dhahabtu, it means I went. When I say dhahabtu, it also means I went. But we talked about that, saying that when you say ana dhahabtu, it means that you are saying something like, it wasn't he who went, I went. All right, I did went, I did go. Right? Whereas when you say dhahabtu, you are more, you are not disputing whether you went or other person went, but the fact that you went, but the fact that you did an action, and the action was of you going somewhere. This is the point. When you use a nominal sentence, the fact is, did you or other person do? When you use a verbal sentence, it's kind of like, what did you do? And you say, I went. All right. The thing that I did was that I went. Whereas when I say ana dhahabtu, the thing is that, all right, someone went somewhere, but who was it? And you say, I went. This is the difference. All right. So the point here that I was trying to make is that you don't need these personal pronouns here. The verbs themselves are enough by themselves. All right. You just need to look at these verbs and conjugate. So let's conjugate here. We have already identified the verbs. This is the past tense. All right. For the present tense, there are other ways, and we'll talk about that in the next course, second level. Past tense. This is the past tense. So dhahaba means he went. Dhahaba means he went. Dhahaba means he went. Dhahaba means they too went. Dhahabu means they went. They went. 3 or more. Dhahabat means she went. Dhahabat. Dhahabata means they too went, referring to female. You see the star here. This is the doer of the action of going. Dhahabna means they went, female. They went, female. Dhahabta, you went, masculine. Dhahabta. Dhahabtuma means you two went. I mean, like 2 men or 1 man and 1 woman. All right. Dhahabtuma. Dhahabtum means you went. You went. masculine. This is masculine, this is feminine. This is masculine, this is feminine. This is both, as we learned. The verb T means you went when you are talking to a female. You went. The verb T, you went. The verb tuma, it also means you went. You two went when you are talking to two females. So the verb tuma means you went, referring to two males or two females or one male and one female. The verb tunna means a group of women went, three or more. The verb tu means I went. The verb tu, I went. The verb na means we went. So many people, when they conjugate these Arabic verbs, they conjugate something like ana, the verb tu, anta, the verb ta, anti, the verb ti. It's you don't need to say ana, anta, and so on. You just say the verb and the pronoun is inside the verb. Of course, when I say the verb tu, I mean I, and when I say the verb na, it means we. The verb na means they, referring to female. So please don't make confusion between the verb na and the verb na. Here is the verb na, and here down here is the verb na. You have to prolong a little, and here you don't need to prolong. You just say the verb na. The verb na. This is the difference. So this is how you conjugate this verb. And we have also dhahaba means to go. We have here kharaja. Kharaja means to go out. Right? To go out. So kharaja, kharaja, kharaju, kharajat, kharajata, kharajna, kharajta, kharajtuma, kharajtum, kharajti, kharajtuma, kharajtunna, kharajtu, kharajna. This is how you conjugate this verb. And our third and last verb to conjugate is this one, kataba. Kataba means he wrote. Kataba means he wrote. And where is here? Do you see the subject here of the doer of this action? No, it's hidden. The answer is it's hidden. And we'll talk about this hidden doer in the next lesson. It will be very interesting, I hope. So kataba, it's hidden. The doer, the subject is hidden. Kataba means they too wrote. Where is the subject? It's here. This alif here. It means they too wrote. They too here, it means two men, not two men or one man and one woman. All right, not two women. Two women, both is down here. Katabu, it means they wrote. Where is the subject? Is here. Katabu, katabat. Where is the subject here? It's hidden. And what is the star here? It's a tar that indicates that this is feminine. The gender here is feminine. Katabata, where is the subject? Is here. Ta. Katabna. They wrote. Females, where is the subject? Is here. Na. Katabta, where is the subject? Is here. Ta. Katabtuma, where is the subject? Tuma. Katabtum. Katabtum, they wrote. What is the subject? Tum. Katabti, what is the subject? Ti. Katabtuma, the subject is tuma. Katabtunna, the subject is tunna. Katabtu, it means I wrote. Katabtu, I wrote. What is the subject? Tu. Tu. It's no longer I. When you say I, it's English. But in Arabic, tu. Katabtu. Katabna. Katabna, we wrote. What is the subject? It's here. Now, so to finish this lesson, and also you will practice, and this is how you conjugate verbs in past tense in Arabic. All right. Here we are talking about regular verbs. All right. There are also irregular verbs that we'll talk about that next level. All right. So when we are, just to remember, when we are in front of a verbal sentence, we need to be able to identify where is the verb and where is the subject of the verb, or the doer of the action referred in the verb. All right. So when I say ذهبنا ذهبنا. Here, this is a verbal sentence. It contains the verb and the subject, the doer of the action. So ذهبنا means we went. All right. If I ask you in English, what is the verb? You say the verb is here. What is the subject? The subject is here. But the point here is that we are learning Arabic. So in Arabic, where is the verb? The verb is here. ذهب. And where is the doer or the subject? It's here. Na. All right. We have identified. Now, if I say ذهبنا إلى المسجد بعد الصلاة, the other stuff that comes, it's not important. The most important thing, of course, you need to know that, but the most important thing is that you need to be able to identify properly the subject and the verb and the doer, the subject. This happens in a verbal sentence. Now, for a nominal sentence, well, a nominal sentence is simpler, and we have studied that. We have to identify the subject and the predicate. For example, I write here. All right. Ana طويل, for example. Ana طويل. What is the subject? Here is the subject. What is the predicate? Here is the predicate. And how do you describe this predicate? It's a noun. طويل, right? Yes, this is the difference. Now, in terms of difference, the difference in terms of meaning of a verbal sentence and a nominal sentence, I can say this. I can say أنا ذهبت. أنا ذهبت means I went. أنا ذهبت. Great. It means I went. And if I say a verbal sentence, ذهبت, this is a verbal sentence. So here is a nominal sentence. And this is a verbal sentence. So, أنا ذهبت means I went. And ذهبت also means I went. So both have the same meaning. Now, the difference between them is what exactly do you intend to say? If you are disputing whether someone else went or you, then you say, أنا, I went. It was I who went. أنا ذهبت, not you. It's like when you say I, for example, let me write it like this. When you say أنا ذهبت, it's like saying I myself went. I did go. I did go. So here we are talking about the emphasis. It's like a dispute, all right? Not in true sense, but you get the idea. أنا ذهبت. So you don't need to say that, all right? This is the meaning behind this. But when you say ذهبت, it's like you, what did you do? And you say ذهبت, I went, all right? So this one is more soft. Now, maybe you may ask me, like, all right, but when I say أنا ذهبت, like, why do we have two subjects? Like one subject in the what can I say? In the nominal sentence and another subject in the verbal sentence. Well, the translation shows only one verb, I went, but why do you have two verbs? And we'll talk about that in the next lesson.